What's the deal, y'all? Evan Mac coming to you live with another vlog. Trigger warning, this video does talk about suicide and everything in between. If that is something that you're not comfortable with, I do urge that you click off of this video. I don't know what part this is in the Corona Chronicles. This is the 5th part, Ev. I was watching a show on Netflix and it was not 13 Reasons Why. However, it did deal with somebody passing in a similar fashion. When I was a junior in high school, I'd made a friend. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the channel before, but I was in theater in high school. And when I was a junior, there was a freshman who reminded me a lot of myself. We weren't extremely close. We weren't best friends. We didn't hang out on the weekends. I saw them in theater, and I would sometimes see them in at lunch. He reminded me a lot of myself. Every now and again, he would wear bow ties, and I remember my freshman year, I would have bow tie Fridays. I would make these duct tape bow ties and wear them, and it was a whole movement.
It really wasn't, but I got like high school fame for it.
Bro was very eccentric, very artistic. He was not into music, his thing was more acting. I could see in him that there was a sort of sadness that I don't typically see in most people. That was pretty much the main thing that, in a platonic way, attracted me to him. And so we formed this kind of big brother, little brother relationship. We did 3 shows together. As I'm sure you can understand, this video was very difficult to record the first time around. As I was watching the footage, I realized that it was getting a little bit confusing, so I just wanted to clarify. My friend and I did 3 shows together. My junior year, we did Aida, which was the school's production, and then for a senior project, one of the seniors wrote a play called Via. We were in that together. And for my senior year, we were both in The Crucible. My friend and I always had roles where we either worked together or we hated each other. And so in Aida, we were on this team of ministers. We were Zozer's ministers. He nicknamed us the chicken nuggets, the Russian nuggets. It was something of that nature, something corny. And we danced together, and we both, helped out a lot with creating the stage movements or the choreography for, the parts that we were needed in. In Via, he was the main character, and I was the priest who he ended up going to seek, I guess, comfort in the passing of his friend in the show. And in The Crucible, I was Giles Corey, and he was one of the reverends. I want to say Reverend Parrish. We hated each other, beefing. It was always hilarious on stage. It took us so much practice getting our lines right and getting our blocking right and our staging right, just because there wasn't an ounce of malice in either one of us. We would have moments where we're on stage and we're blocking, or we're reading lines as a group, and we're supposed to be arguing, beefing, and he'll do something really childish that'll crack me up, or I'll make a face or something like that of that nature. Those are the memories that I like to look back on when I think about the school plays. We did one show called Via. I feel bad because I don't remember the name of the show. It was about a girl who passed away, ironically, in a similar way. It scared me just because the show went through the mindset of a friend after their friend. It goes through the mindset of a boy after his friend passes away, and it gets very dark, and it would scare me because my friend would play the part a little too well. I don't want to get too used to doing these cutaways, just because I really appreciate excuse me, that tasted like pizza. I don't want to get too used to these cutaways, just because
I appreciate the natural emotion that came out when I first filmed this. This is literally my first time ever talking about it so in depth and going through scene by scene in my memory of this happening and then this happening and then this happening and then this happening. You guys will find out more about this in a future video, but for the sake of this video, I need you all to know that with all of my friends, I've always been very observant. I don't keep too many people around me on a regular basis. I don't like too many people getting close to me. I don't like to get too close to people. But for the people who are close to me, I can tell certain things about them. I had a friend who went through some mental troubles while he was abroad, and he called me one day, and I immediately known as soon as I heard like his first word that something was wrong. I have a few friends, and I don't like to say, "Are you on your period?" But they'll act in general out of the ordinary. It's not like we're in an argument and I say, "Are you on your period? Is it your time of the month?" But something just slightly off. As far as the case goes with my friend who was abroad going through some troubles, he was going through some troubles. My friends who are female, who have cycle issues, they'll just come out and say, "Yeah, it is that time of the month." Not because I'm trying to be a jerk, but just because I know my friends. I said all that to say that, despite the fact that we didn't hang out daily, we hung out enough where I could tell where his mood would be shifting. And so when it would go more negative, those were the days where I would eat lunch with the theater kids. And when it would swing back more positive, I would kind of reel in and hang out with different people at lunch. I remember right around the end of the show and right before school let out for winter break, I remember getting that feeling like he wasn't okay. And it felt a little helpless just because we're about to leave school, or in like this case, we had left school. So it wasn't like I could just pop up on him and say, "Hey," because I was already at my dad's house. At the very beginning of winter break, my cousin and I had gotten in trouble. We had went out with my brother, we smoked weed, we came back, and it wasn't necessarily the weed that we got in trouble for, it was more that we lied about it. Be that as it may, we had gotten in trouble. That day I had bought a water pipe, and I kept the water pipe just because I wanted to keep my pipe. When we got in trouble, I'd hid it so that I could use it again later on. And so I remember on December 31st of 2014, I had a very weird feeling and I wasn't quite sure what it was. I remember getting a Snapchat from my friend, and he'll randomly send Snapchats, but on this occasion, he sent that snap, and on the surface level, I felt like, okay, he's doing all right. But somewhere deep in my heart or in my mind, something just didn't feel right.
New Year's, I had gotten the water pipe that my dad had taken, well, that I had hid from my dad. I'd hid it right at New Year's, but I remember feeling weird. I remember this moment where the fireworks were going off. I was taking a rip, and it was like something bad is about to happen, or something bad is happening. And I guess looking at it, maybe it was our connection being severed, maybe. I remember, waking up the next day, feeling a little groggy from the night before, and everything was fine. And then my dad had called me downstairs.
Unfortunately, this video is running a bit over time and there's still a lot more ground to cover. I do want to take this time to say, if you or anyone you know is suffering from any mental illness, first of all, please, I urge you to go get help. That was one of the first steps that got me to where I am now. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm in this great la la land. Life can still be difficult. However, putting my mental health first has been one of the keystones of me being able to get better. I also want to say that you are not alone. There are millions, if not billions, of people who feel how you do in some way, shape, or form. Linked below, I have the number to the hotline for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. And that's how we're going to end this part to the video. If you have any questions on my own mental health and my own struggle, please shoot me an email at the email that is listed below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up. If you like what I do here, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and that notification bell so that you're updated every time I upload a new video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one, baby.